Hi. Oh, hey, I didn't see you there.
How's it going? I'm Sean,
I'm Sean.
and we got a very important topic today.
Yes, we do. It is
Adobe. In February 1982, two men left Xerox PARC, a company known for its computer hardware and information technology.
The goal of these men, who were
John Warnock,
and
Charles Kesike,
was to progress the software front of computers. And they achieved their goal in more ways than they could ever have imagined when they formed the company Adobe.
Adobe!
Their first major accomplishment was the PostScript language, which was mainly used for graphics coding. Now hear this, as Adobe continued to grow, they released more software products that still exist to this day.
Their most notable credits, other than PostScript, lies in their multimedia software, such as
Acrobat, After Effects, Dreamweaver, Flash Professional, Illustrator, Photoshop, Photoshop Lightroom 5, Digital Publishing Suite Professional Edition, Adobe E-Learning Suite 6.1, Cold Fusion, Adobe FrameMaker Publishing Server 12.
So, this pretty much means that Adobe has a comparative advantage in the multimedia software industry. And because of their software products, they're able to privatize.
In 2008, the value of Adobe's stock plummeted, then rose and stayed stagnant until recently. The value dramatically increased from $36 a share to $68 a share. Why is this? And what should we do with this stock? Sean Edwards has the answer.
Well, let's take note that on February 10th, their stock was $63.78. Pretty cool, it's right by my head. And on March 7th, their stock had risen to $68.52. However,
Andy Kemp from Edward Jones suggests that you hold your stock in Adobe, mainly because of their multi-year restructuring plan. Adobe's main plan is to drop Flash altogether. And recenter their focus on other digital software. Back to you, Sean.
There are a lot of substitutes for Adobe's products coming from these guys.
Not only do a lot of companies pose alternatives for Adobe software, but there are also numerous substitutes for any particular product that Adobe creates. Let's use Photoshop as an example. The site lists the 10 best alternatives to Adobe's leading image editing software, including Pixlr and GIMP, both of which are free products. Take note, it's the list of the 10 best options. There could be hundreds more substitutes available.
Well, doesn't that mean that Adobe is fairly elastic?
Adobe!
Apparently not.
As a supply and demand curve could not be readily found on Google, a sample set will be used. Here is Adobe's demand curve. You can see that as the price increases, the quantity demanded decreases. However, there is a point where the decreasing rate of the quantity demanded slows, showing where Adobe can set high prices for products with free substitutes, and still make a profit. After this, the quantity demanded will cease to exist once the price increases any further. Now for Adobe's supply curve. Its supply curve is the typical boring G-shape that one would expect for such a graph. One thought to ponder is, why do they even have a supply curve? A foreseeable, yet senseless question. Although most of Adobe's products are digital software, which require no money to produce, money is still needed for the payment of workers, upkeep of headquarters, and the like.
Now let's discuss price ceilings and floors, and how they apply to Adobe.
There is no ceiling or floor.
Because when does the government ever care about what you're doing online? Always! Despite what you may think, Adobe actually has many, many externalities. Positive and negative. Some of the positive ones, well, let's be honest, if you're around playing Flash games all day or spending so much time with so much detail on Photoshop to make a pretty picture,
Photoshop.
you're less likely to kill a person. The crime rate is most definitely going to decrease.
There are also negative externalities to sitting around all day with Adobe products. You're gonna get fat. Adobe owns 33 subsidiaries throughout America, Europe, and Asia, such as the Adobe International LLC in Delaware, Accelio France SA in France, and the Adobe Systems Company Ltd in Japan, all of which contribute to the overall Adobe market penetration and market expansion.
Adobe.
To date, Adobe Systems has a 6.27% profit margin. This is the lowest it has been since November 2009, when the profit margins were negative 4.23% due to a distrust in Flash content allowing end-user uploads.
Due to complications of getting Sean and Sean together at the same time, I have been asked to do the conclusion of the video. This is the conclusion. You are currently viewing the cited sources. We hope you enjoyed the music as much as we did. There, that is all. It was a pleasure being invited into this comfy, cozy classroom. Have a nice day, and thanks for watching this undeniably fantastical production.